How's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be replacing the tie rods on my 2008 Saab 9.3 Turbo X. There's been like zero content on this car recently, and I apologize for that, but that's for good reason. To give you a quick rundown on what's been going on with this car, as many of you know, I installed some new map tune coilovers on it a couple of months ago. After I did that, I took it to get an alignment at a shop called Forzaline. I'll put their Instagram on the screen right here. They did a great job with the alignment, but I realized it was still pulling to the left, so they told me to bring it back. Brought it back a couple days later. They aligned it again. As they were looking at it, they realized your tie rods are completely shot. And that would explain why the last few months in this car, when I'd be taking a turn hard, the car would move back and forth like this. I don't know how else to describe that any better. Like, the car would just shift from side to side during hard cornering. So it wasn't very safe to drive, to say the least. So that's part of the reason why I haven't really been driving it much lately, and because the alignment is still messed up because these tie rods are bad. But if you look here, I can grab the wheel and give it a nice little turn from side to side. That's not going to come up on camera, but I can assure you that the wheel is moving a bit with the full weight on the car. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to Forzaline just for great customer service and helping me diagnose this issue, and then telling me to bring the car back again after I do this to actually get the alignment done. Even though I only paid for one alignment, they're now going to be doing it for a third time. With that said, let's get the Turbo X into the garage, because the 2.0 is back there, the 9.3 is back there, and the 9.5 Aero is right here. So I've got to move all these cars. This is going to take a couple minutes. The reason why this video is taking so long too is because those tie rods had to come from Sweden, and because of all the storms that have been going on and everything, it's been 3 weeks since I ordered them. So no fault of anyone, just sucky situation that these storms hit. But I have them now, so that's good, I guess. I should also mention that this process will be the same for any new generation Saab 9.3. Even though technically the cross-wheel drive has a different part number, it's still going to be the same process. The way to do this, so that way you don't mess up your alignment too much when you replace these, this is a way Forzaline recommended to me, and I gotta say it sounds very ingenious, so I'm gonna try it. Basically, we're gonna break the jam nut loose. We're not gonna completely loosen it, we're just gonna break it loose and then not touch it. After that, we can take off the nut that's on the bottom that holds the tie rod to the hub here. Then we can spin the tie rod off, or the outer tie rod off, I should say. And then that jam nut's gonna stay there, so we know just about where we need to put the new outer tie rod onto. So if I'm being honest, I was messing around with this and I broke it loose off camera, but with some PB Blaster and a good sized wrench, it wasn't too bad to break loose, even on this car, which is a little bit rusted underneath. That nut on the bottom there is just an 18. There we go. I'm just gonna hold this jam nut here. You can literally just spin this off. Might take a minute because there's a lot of threads. There we go. Looking at the boot on this old tie rod, it doesn't look torn anywhere. I've been moving it around trying to see, but the end of this has definitely seen better days, that's for sure. I also noticed, I looked up the part numbers to confirm, that's why I wrote R and L on here. I don't know why the driver's side has this yellow paint down here. You can see this one had it too, and this one just is silver on the end, but if anyone knows why, I'm kind of curious. Maybe that's to help distinguish which is which. But anyways, let's put this on. So I loosened this jam nut by maybe about a half turn, so I'm going to go till it's tight against the jam nut and then probably back it off to about right here, which would make sense because it needs, or no, sorry, to about right here because it needs to be facing down. And then I'll just tighten the jam nut against that. And that should be just about where it was before. If I just turn the wheel a little bit, it'll slide right in. Put our 18mm nut There you have it. That jam nut, that's not the jam nut, that nut is on, and the jam nut is tightened back down. So hopefully this will fix my issue. I've got to do it on the other side right now, but I've never done this job before, and that took me about 10-15 minutes to do. So let's replace this one now too. This one definitely seems to be in better shape, although I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to replace it. The nice thing about this is it can only go into the car one way, straight down, so you pretty much, if you get it within 360 degrees, then you're pretty much getting it right in the same exact spot that it was before. 0 play in it, so that's good. Means I did it right, I think. So there you have it, guys. That's how you do a tie rod replacement on a new generation Saab 9.3. Not a very bad job, honestly. A job I've never done before, but it was pretty easy nonetheless. So now I've got to throw the wheels back on, get in contact with Forza Line so I can take the car back down there again. And fingers crossed I can finally drive this thing properly and actually give you a first impressions video on the map tune coilovers like I had promised. Because when I initially released that video, I had said, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my alignment, and then, you know, I can actually drive the car hard, and then I'll get you guys my first impressions video. But because of everything I just explained, it's now been like a month and a half since I finished the coilovers, and well, still haven't really driven it. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want access to content like this earlier, or you want to help support the channel more, see some extra posts, make sure to check out my Patreon. It's linked at the top of the description. And I'll see you all next time.